Hey guys, I don't know what happened. I'd installed a software I had on my computer many different times. Uh, used it a lot of times. Had to delete it the other day and reinstall it. Now every time I try to do a live, it tries to take over the live. So I don't know. I've uninstalled it again. So sorry about that. I know there were several of you on here when I first got over here, but I tried for it not to happen. Sorry. But anyway, hello, why me? It's good to see you. Michelle, it's good to see you. And Mariposa, good to see you again. Yeah. Hello, Kimberly again. And Crystal, good to see you. Tammy, hello, Tammy. Kathy, it's good to see you. And Tana, good evening from Texas. Well, good evening from Kentucky, Tana. And Paulette can see me now. You couldn't see me a while ago because the other, I had downloaded that OBS software again, Paulette. I'm sure you're familiar with it. Your son uses it for gaming and stuff, you said. But for some reason, it was trying to take over all my lives. Every time I tried to do a live, it was just taking over, and I don't know why it's doing that. I've got to figure that out this coming week somehow because I use it a lot when I do recordings, and it's real handy for that. But anyway, well, thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate you all being patient with me. Sometimes it requires patience when you fool with me. Hello, Robbie. It's good to see you. Maria, good to see you. Let's see. Josephine from Dale Val, Texas. Good to see you. JC, hey there. How are you? Vermont Prepper, good evening. Glad you could make it. And Miss P. Kitty 13 from down in the Sunshine State. Hello there. And Tribulation Safe, good to see you. Amen to that. And Glenn, good to see you. We're both doing fine, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, 3 racks of firewood. That's a good thing. Yes. Anytime you get this prepping stuff, buddy, brought in and handed, or not necessarily handed to you, but brought in to you like that, that's a good thing. Now the stream is buffering. Well, it shouldn't be. Hello, Stomp Bam from San Antonio. Glenn, try refreshing your screen. I'm hardwired right into the router. We're not doing any Paulette's buffering. We're not doing anything on Wi-Fi anymore. None of this stuff. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the nature of the video. I don't know. I know some of the people that we watch on live stream sometimes, depending on the topic, they have a hard time sending out live videos. Mariposa said did for a second, then totally fine. Is anybody? Am I buffering on in? The rest of you? Hello, Samsung Galaxy. Well, hello, Abigail. Thank you for coming back, Abigail. Vert, thank you. It's fine now. And thank you, Julie. Michelle's dead for a few seconds, but fine now. Hopefully Paulette's is straightened up. I did a video earlier today and uploaded it to our channel. I don't know if everybody's had an opportunity to watch it or not. It's a poem, and it's about it's an Appalachian poem about a pack house, and it's very lighthearted. It's not something that would bring you any stress, and you might enjoy it. If you do, and if you watch it and you enjoy it, share it with your friends so they'd enjoy it too. Miss P. Kitty says we're good there. Tana says no. Michelle said second. And Abigail, it's lovely to see you too, Abigail. We're always glad to see you here. And Glenn's good now. Thank you guys. We appreciate that. Anna, hello from Buffalo, New York, and it's good to see you, Anna. Ursi from Minnesota. Hello, Ursi. It's good to see you. We've got 36 people in the room and 16 thumbs up. So let's hit that like button a few times there and get caught up with our people in the room. If you've not liked the video already, one thing we want to talk about this evening, we're not going to be real long, I don't think, unless we get off on a subject that somebody brings up that we just get to talking about. The prices of food have just continued to rise. And hello, Luann. It's good to see you. Yeah, hammer that thumbs up, everybody. Thank you, Miss P. Kitty. We've still got a record number of container ships setting off the west coast of California and Washington up through there. It's not letting up. And when these things happen like that, and you start seeing these shortages, I'd call them spot shortages. I did a video yesterday or the day before. I can't remember even which channel I uploaded it on, whether I did it on this channel or our other channel. We've got another channel called Locals. The link to it is in the description box below this video. And I upload stuff over there too. But I mentioned in a video that we had some spot shortages across the state of Kentucky in some of the Walmarts, and I showed one of the Walmarts in Stanford, Kentucky, and there was a lot of toy shortages on that, and a lot of shortages in the coolers and things like that. And let me clear up something right here so people will understand where I'm coming from. Now, I mentioned in a video the other day that Sandy and I don't celebrate Christmas or the holidays, and we don't. We don't do that. If you do, that's your business. I'm not here to be your dad or your or anything like that. We have our reasons, and we just don't celebrate them. And I mentioned in that video that if there's people out there that celebrate the holidays, that there was going to be a shortage of stuff. And if you celebrated the holidays, you would probably want to go ahead and get a head start on it. Now, somebody commented to me that I was encouraging people to celebrate the holidays. And that's not true at all. That's not what I said. I said, if you celebrate the holidays, and that's your business, what you do, it's not mine, you might want to get a head start. Like I said, Sandy and I we don't have to worry about buying toys and things like that for holiday seasons or any other seasons, and we just don't do that. But I got this comment from this person, said it was kind of like I was telling obese people to go out and buy candy, even though I didn't agree with it, and that's just not what I said at all. Oh goodness. And then they got on here and announced that they was going to unsubscribe from the channel. And I just give them a thumbs up. Bye. If that's listen, if I can't say simple things and without people construing them wrong and misunderstand them, and you feel like that you just have to say something to leave, I'll just give you a thumbs up. I don't want you to go, but man, if you got to go, you just got to go. That's all I know to tell you. I like you. I'll still like you even after you leave. But, that's just how it is. But I didn't encourage anybody to do anything. I was not encouraging you to celebrate Christmas. I wasn't encouraging you to celebrate Easter or any other holiday. I was just saying that if you do celebrate them and you have intentions of buying toys for Christmas, that you need to consider that now, because you may not be able to find them at Christmas. Now, if I were to encourage people something to do, I would encourage people to buy clothing. I would encourage people to buy food and put back food, and to start explaining to their children, because children are very resilient. I would start explaining to my children what I think the future may hold and start preparing them for it. And I would start preparing them by cutting back on how much trivial stuff that I purchased for them and gave to them. The less you give a child, the less they expect. The more you give a child, the more they expect. It's just that simple. And children are smart. they catch on to this stuff. And if you'll take the time to sit down and explain to them what's going on and tell them that they can be a help to you in this stuff, they'll jump right on board with you more than likely. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's just who I am. But no, we don't celebrate the holidays and stuff like that, and we don't encourage people to celebrate them. And I wasn't encouraging anybody to celebrate it by the video I put out. So anyway, that's just what it is. Okay. Now, Logan's Run being created, limit the population of superficial people who are. Well, that's who knows why me anything's possible with this bunch we've got in running this country. Flood or food shortages and energy prices going through the roof. Now, Abigail, you're from Scotland, if I remember right, and you've had warnings tonight about food shortages and energy prices going through the roof. Now, that's another thing. You know, I got an email today from a friend in Canada, somebody that watches our videos here and attends our lives from time to time. And bless your hearts if you live in Canada too. You're going to be under the gun all the way across the state or the country before it's over. They're going to do you guys just like they did in Australia, and they're going to try to do it here at some point. I don't know. They're just doing stuff different here in the States. It's real odd how they're doing things and trying to roll out things. And I don't know if they've got a handle on it just yet or not, or if they're just trying to figure it out. I don't know. We're one of the few countries that's able to defend ourselves if we need to, and they know that. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. But the prices of food are going up here, and one of the things that I saw that they were doing in Canada. Now, one of the things that they said in Canada was that without having your that you had to have a test before you could attend any kind of function outdoors in Canada, and you had to have proof of it, and you had to have it within 72 hours, and you had to get your own test and pay for it. They made it clear that you could not use the health department to get a test, that you had to pay for the test. Well, that's one of the ways of them punishing you, is to make you pay for this stuff when you could go to the health department and get it for free. They're not going to allow you to do that. They're going to punish you. It's just like I started to do a video on this today, and I didn't know if I could hold my tongue and not say too much, but Don Lemon had got on CNN and spouted off about, first he talked about Trump supporters being stupid, and then he said that the people who hadn't been verified was just like them, stupid people, and they ought to be shamed and be denied all this stuff. And that's what they're doing. That's exactly what the media and the politicians are doing. They're trying their best to make people hate each other. The mainstream media is trying to make American people hate each other. That is their goal. And that's the politicians' goals. They have always tried to drive a wedge between everybody. But this thing with food is going to continue, and it's going to increase. We've been talking to several people that have been emailing us and making comments on our uploads here, and food prices are going up, as well as everything else. Someone had posted on here that their toothpaste had went up 50%, I think. And that's just stuff like that's just crazy. So I guess we need to get the stuff to make most of our own stuff if we can. We really need to be doing that. Pinball said it was 61 ships waiting. I heard it was like 57 or something, but it could have increased to 61 by now. But that's the most ships that's ever been out there. They've never been that many ships out there. And when you've got 61 ships holding thousands, each ship is holding thousands of containers. You're looking at tens of thousands of containers just sitting out there. Can't get into the ports to get unloaded. It's just crazy stuff. Glenn said he heard 61 also, so they may be that many now. Yeah. Weevils. Oh no. Oh goodness. You've got to get rid of those weevils, Josephine. Now I've never had problems with weevils, so I wouldn't really know what to tell you. Sorry about that. Somebody tried to ring in with a video chat, and I can't. We can't do that right now, guys. Sorry about that. But anyway, where was we at? Weevils. Anybody have problems with weevils? Give Josephine a suggestion there. Josephine D said, I'm having trouble with weevils in my food pantry. Should I throw away my bags of rice and beans? And I just don't know. Let's see where we're at here now. Well, I was having to hold my tongue on that Don Lemon thing, so because people shouldn't get on. If any other news station had done something like that, they would have made the newscaster step down. I mean, stuff like that's just crazy. And hello, Grace and Grit. It's good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, there really wasn't an argument, Miss P. Kitty. They just, it seemed like to me that they was trying to be one of these holier than thou things, that they wanted to try to pick a fight and maybe start some kind of argument over scripture. And I'm just not going to go there. I'm not. I don't have anything to pick a fight over. Yeah. Yes, Paulette, that's a great suggestion to Josephine. I don't know if she does that or not, but always freeze all your dry goods like that, like your beans, flours, meals, that kind of stuff. Always freeze it for at least, we freeze ours for 3 days. We leave ours in the freezer for a minimum of 3 days before we take it out, and then we leave it setting out for a minimum of 2 days to allow it to get back to room temperature, to make sure there's no moisture left in them before we vacuum seal. We vacuum seal all of our flour and meal and beans and rice. We vacuum seal all of that, so we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And you can also, you can put oxygen absorbers in that stuff and put it in jars and things like that. I know that, or vacuum seal it in jars. But yeah, it needs frozen first. I agree. Thank you, Pauline. Melinda asked, was I a Jehovah's Witness? No, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. That's it. Now, I have no problem with people getting together to celebrate God, to celebrate the Lord Jesus Christ, to celebrate, to get together in your home and do things. But I just don't celebrate the holidays. I will never celebrate another holiday. And I won't dislike you if you do. I mean, I'll tell you that straight up. It won't make me despise your dislike you. Yes, food and Abigail said food and energy is going through the roof. Toys, if you're buying them, get them now. And again, I would recommend now. And again, this is just me talking. Okay, I can't tell you what to do. I can just tell you what I would do and Sandy would do. If we had young children now, we would be teaching our children more about appreciating what God has given us in this life, rather than trying to buy toys and things that get thrown out next week or not used next week, or to me, all that stuff's just frivolous. It's just what it is. It's just all worldly goods, and we would be teaching them a lot different than we taught our children years ago. We just would. But again, I'm not here to tell you how to teach your children. That's your business. That's your business. You'll answer for yours, and I'll answer for mine. So you do how you want to do and how you feel to do, and that's how we'll do. And we won't beat you up because you do how you do. I'm just me, guys. I mean, thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. To your question, Melinda Hester, Charles, to your question, I forgot your name. I'm sorry. Oh, well, don't be sorry about that. That's not a big deal. I just look at things different than a lot of people do. I even look at the holy days and the Sabbaths different than other people do. And it's because the way I read the scriptures and understand them. I see a place that we're talking about prices here. Oh goodness, prices are going up. They are. We need to be stocking up on beans and rice. We need to be getting more of that kind of stuff in our pantries. And you may think that, well, you've got enough, or I've got enough to do us a year. Guys, if we have like hyperinflation and the economy collapses like it did in Venezuela or some of these other countries, I mean, these people have been in serious trouble for like 20 years. And they're struggling every day to feed their families and just to get by to do anything. And when we look at it and say, well, we've got a year's worth of stuff put back, all that does for me and you to have a year's worth of stuff put back if there's a economy collapse is to get us through to where we can grow a garden next year and hopefully grow enough food to preserve enough back for another year. That's all it does, is it just gives us time to get into growing a garden. That's why we talked about in our last video that seeds are going to become priceless if we have a collapsed economy. That'll be your food. I mean, that will be your existence. Will be the seeds that you have on hand to grow your food the next year. And Sandy and I have been talking about that a great deal. We're going to start doing more container garden. We think we're going to, we had, I don't know if y'all saw our garden this past year, how we had it laid out, but we had corn and potatoes and squash and zucchini and tomatoes and onions and peppers and watermelon. I don't know. We had a bunch of stuff in our garden. And next year, I think what we're going to do is we're going to use pretty much the whole garden for corn, and grow most of our other stuff. We may not use the entire garden for corn, but we're going to use the majority of it for corn, and grow the majority of our other stuff in containers. I think that might be a better bet for us, and we're going to try this year to get an earlier start with our seedlings. We're going to start. We've got some windows here that we've gathered up, and we're going to build some solar seed starters. And we're going to start getting us some seeds started in January and February for certain things. And by the time it comes time to plant some of this stuff and set it out in buckets and set it out in the sun, it's going to be, pretty good sized plants to set out and try to have a head start on that stuff. And we're going to try to do some, what's it called? I had it in my mind to tell you what it is, and now I've just went blank. It's when you plant something this week, and then wait till 2 weeks later and plant the same thing again, so you have stuff coming in consecutive weeks or different weeks at different times. You don't want everything coming in at once, is what I'm trying to say. Like our tomatoes, we'll have some tomatoes that we'll have ready this week, and then 2 weeks later we'll have some more ready. And that'll keep us from having to do it all have all the tomatoes coming in at once. So that's one of our goals this coming year, is to do some stuff like that. And if any of y'all have done that, let us know. Let's see. Yeah, Julie, I agree with you. I just can't post it out on the page. Uh, they do, Josephine. I agree with you. They do want a war between not just, they don't want just a race war. They want, I don't care to put that out there. They do want a race war, but they also want a war between people who have been verified and those who have not. That's what they're working on right now, is trying to keep people mad at each other over that very thing right there. And you know, we have a choice to be mad at people or not, and that's our choice. We don't have to be told to be mad at people and then just do it because somebody tells us to. Like this Don Lemon guy on CNN, when he said that how you should treat people. Now that's what he said. He said, you know, we've given everybody time enough. We've given them long enough. They need to be shunned. You need to shun these people. And he's trying to tell you how to live your life. He's trying to tell you what you should do as an individual. And no, people should have enough mind to make their own decisions. You and I should be able to make our own decisions, make our own minds up as to whether we like something or not, or whether we want to uh, continue to be associated with people for certain reasons or not. That's not Don Lemon's business or any other body's business. It's just not. All these other things, and he jumped right into a bunch uh, of uh, shots that have been given out over the years for different things like mumps and measles and polio and all that stuff. But I don't ever remember the government making people take those shots. If I recall, all those were volunteer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And he even mentioned Botox. Well, you don't know what's in a Botox shot. Well, you're right. I don't. I don't know what's in this shot. But nobody makes me take a Botox shot. If I wanted to take one, I'd take it. And if I don't, I don't. I've never took one. Have no intention to take one. But if I wanted to take one, I would. It'd be my business. See, and you can't let people tell you what to do. You just can't. You can't let people make these decisions for you. These decisions has to be your own. Yeah, guys, this is all an individual choice thing. Food and gas price line in Florida are so high. Gas is $3.09. Yeah. Well, here's the problem with all this. Here's the problem with this stuff that we're talking about. Since we're on this thing here right now, it's kind of like, you know what? I don't like. It'd be like somebody saying, "Well, I don't like to go to ball games," and I don't. I don't like to attend any of that stuff. I don't go to ball games, concerts. I don't fool with any of that stuff. I do not fool with it. Sandy and I don't like to fool with it. And it'd be like me saying, "Well, I think everybody in the United States ought to be banned from going to ball games because I don't like to go." I don't think it. I think everybody in the United States should be banned from going to concerts because I don't like to go. If I don't like to go, just stay at the house. Let other people do what they want to. That's your business. If you ask my opinion, I'll tell you my opinion. I'll tell you why I like it or why I don't. But I'm not going to tell you can't do it. That's your business. It's just decisions you have to make. You have to make these decisions, and then you have to live with them. And at some point, you're going to have to give an account for them. The decisions you make, you're going to have to give an account for, whether it be for your children or for your husband or wife or your lifestyle, whatever it might be. We're all going to have to give an account for that at some point. So we shouldn't let other people dictate how we feel or how we think. And the news has done that for years and years and years, as well as Hollywood. And they've driven people, buddy, just to the point of almost no return, I'm afraid. But these things are just going to get worse and worse and worse. This stuff's going to continue to get worse. It's not going to get better. None of these people are going to stop. I know there's a lot of hope for people returning and changing things in America, and it's just not. It's not going to. The news media is never going to stop. They're children, they're father of the devil, and they're going to continue to do what they're programmed to do. It's just like Don Lemon and all these other people They're all programmed to speak and say what they speak and say, and they're just pawns, buddy. They have no soul and no voice of their own. Zero. They have zero voice of their own. All their voice speaks from somebody else telling them what to speak. So, it wouldn't let you back, Happy Mac. Well, we're glad you're back. Happy Mac's back. Now it's getting hard to find again. Ammunition. Guys, keep guys on that too if you're short-handed. Michelle said they can't find it. I found some of these right here, those 22 things, I found some of those at a flea market about a month ago, and I got me a box of those. Dollar Tree's poorly stocked for Miss Kitty P. Kitty. Dollar Tree, somebody said, was poorly stocked in her area. Stomped down immigrants and South American families who crossed the border being housed in my state and housing lost by evacuees, etc. Yep, that's going to continue to happen. Stomp down. I've wondered about that. All the evacuations that's going to be coming up. The rental properties many of them are going to be empty. Many homes are going to be repossessed and set empty, and I'm just wondering how many of those will be occupied by people who do not like Americans. And here's another thing you need to think about: if people are raised to hate America, we've got a couple of generations of kids that's been brought up, and not all the kids, I understand that, but there's been many thousands, millions, probably even, of kids that have been raised to either dislike the way America is or to even hate the way America is. And I'll tell you right now, if it comes down to defending America, they're not going to. No. If it comes down to having to defend your soul against an enemy, they won't do it. If they don't like the nation they live in or the people, they're not going to defend it. And that's a sad thing. Water glass eggs. Yes, El Chavez. That's really good. If you have chickens, buddy, people need to look into that. If you have chickens, you need to look into how to water glass eggs. That is there's some excellent videos out there on that. Hamara Fuston said, throw your rice and beans out that have weevil, start fresh with new ones, and put bay leaves in it in a tight container. Keeps the bugs out and your dry goods fresh. Bay leaves for weevils, okay. Again, and again, freeze those things. I would freeze them before I put them up. Yeah, I'm afraid, El Chavez, that a lot of people will waste hard-earned money this year again. I've got family that it doesn't matter. I have ex-in-laws that it doesn't matter. If it's the last dollar in their pocket, they'd go out and try to buy a gift for somebody. It just, I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, I think everybody's looking for what they need for their pea shooters. Ursi, I don't know if we'll have ration cards or not, but we could have. I know they did ration cards in World War II, and it's very possible that could come back around again. Now, I can't help but wonder if these container ships sitting off the west coast out there, because they keep piling up. It's not like we get 60 ships out there and they bring 20 in and unload them and get them out, and then 2 weeks later bring 20 more in and unload them and get them out, and 20 more in and unload them and get out, and get caught up with this stuff. That's not what they're doing. It continues to pile up more and more out in the ocean. Instead of getting them unloaded, and making room for more, they just keep piling up and getting more and more and more and more sitting there. And I'm beginning to think that this is that this is part of a plan. That this is just part of the plan, buddy. It's gonna cause, that in itself is going to cause a shortage of goods, which in itself will cause a price hike because there'll be such competition for them. People can set their prices, and don't think some of these businesses won't. Some of these businesses hold on stuff all year long and wait till Christmas time to put them out so they can triple and quadruple their money on them. So yeah, businesses do that, and if we have a shortage on specific items, excuse me, if we have a shortage across the United States on specific items, it's going to cause a price hike for that stuff. That's just how it works. So I can't help but wonder if that back up in the off the West Coast isn't part of the plan too. So, and I know I'm one of those tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists, but some of those tinfoil hats have been proven right many times in the last year. It is, Donna. Sometimes you just have to take a day or two off and just try to clear your head out and then get right back on it. Because we've got to keep doing this. We've got to keep this going. Interior wood shutters. I think that's a good plan right there. Yeah. Compound bows, you're allowed them. Yes, anything like that I was allowed, I'd on them. Whether it be compound bows or those crossbows, whatever it might be. Yeah, something to protect yourself with. Axe, hatchet, a good knife, good razor sharp knife, those kind of things. People need stuff to protect themselves with. Our garden was a flop due to weather. Maybe next year will be much better. We got ours out early, Michelle, and then I let my tomatoes get just barely a little bit of frostbite on them. I thought I had missed it, and I didn't go out and water them that morning to knock anything off because it didn't look like to me it got them, but apparently it had, because it stunted the growth of mine this year, and they were real late coming in. We didn't get near what we thought we should have. So yeah, I understand about the weather. And hello, Prep and Truth. It's good to see you. And I don't know if I said hi to Donna or not, but hi, Donna. Yeah, the fun guy corn, Donna, was looking pretty sad. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Grace and Grit says she's water glasses her eggs and they'll store for a year or more. I've used 14-month-old egg before using that method. Wow, how about that? Now, they're already doing that, Prepping the Truth. They're already doing some of that in Canada. So, yeah, show me your papers. They're rationing alcohol in Pennsylvania. I didn't want to change it. Yeah, they're rationing two bottles per person in Pennsylvania, the alcohol. So now think about that just a second. We've been talking about food prices. Let's talk about that just a second. Again, Sandy and I we don't drink, but you know, people need some of this stuff on hand to make their medicines and tinctures and all that kind of stuff with. And to cook with. I understand some people cook with it. I don't have a problem with that. That's your business. I don't care. But when you limit 2 bottles per individual, what's that going to do to the restaurants? What's that going to do to the clubs, to the bars that rely on that stuff to make a living? See, there's a lot of people going to find hard times with that stuff. Yeah, and rum, like for making vanilla. Okay, let's see. That's something that we need to get some of too, is to make our own vanilla. Yes, secession. Thank you, Debbie Herring. That was the word I was looking for. Rotation. Thank you, Abigail. That's another term for it. Yes, secession, rotation. Gene said it took many hours to find a site to buy seeds. Many were out of most everything. I had a seed site. I get an email. Gene, if you want me to send you the link to that seed site that sends me emails about once a week, send me an email. The link to my emails in the description box below. And the next time they send me an update, I'll get you their website, or if I might be able to find it anyway without them sending me a link, and I'll send you their website. And if anybody else wants it, let me know. I'll be glad to do that. Canary Islands earthquake to tsunami threat for the East Coast. I don't know, JK. I know the West Coast had a earthquake this morning. One of our friends sent us something on it. I think it was like a 4 point something. I don't remember exactly what it was. Started grabbing my phone and using it for a webcam, so I can't grab it to look it up. Yes, stagger planning. El Chavez, that works too. That's another good term for it. You'd think out of all those terms that I could have thought of one of them. Oh, goodness. I don't know, Josephine, about Walmart potting soil, but I'm gonna try to get some of it this year and mix it with some of the dirt we have around here. I'm gonna try to get me some river dirt also. Yeah, storm of truth. Control the food, control the people. And let me tell you something so you'll understand this. I don't know if everybody understands this or not, but there have been governments in this world that have starved their people to death intentionally. Yeah. And they let them. That's why I keep saying that unless something's done, these small protests don't help anything. You saw what happened at the Capitol when they protested there. A bunch of them got put in jail. They had a protest today in Washington, D.C., and they were just a handful of people showed up, which was probably a good thing. Had they been a massive amount of people showing up, there would have been it just wouldn't have been good. All these things you have to watch, guys. Heirloom permaculture. I didn't see you come in, but hey there, how you doing? Yeah, I see it there now. Happy Mac says our electricity doubled. We have natural gas stove, natural. Usually it's about 20 a month. I got a bill for $78 for the. Oh my gosh, Happy. Golly. I don't know what 5 pence a pack is, but I'm glad you got them. We just got a super chat from Kelly. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. Love your guts and channel. Thanks for this community. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate folks like you. We appreciate all of our people, and we're just who we are, man. That's just it. If people want me to be different to please them, they're going to be disappointed. It's just not going to happen. But again, I don't know what 5 pence a pack is. Maybe we bought a lot of seeds this year for real cheap, and I mean we bought a lot of them. Yeah. Man, I'm so far behind. I think I'm ahead. Hello, zombie. I don't know if I saw you come in or not. You might have been at the start. I can't remember. Clarissa Parker, good to see you. Let's see. I hope I said hi to everybody. Oh, there's Virginia Woodsman. Good to see you. While I was talking, I wasn't scrolling down, and Kimberly, it's good to see you. I don't know if I said hi earlier or not. Anna. Oh gosh, Abigail said dirt's going to jump 121%. That's just crazy, crazy. And Pat, it's good to see you. Those kind of things are just real crazy. That's one of the things that we've been talking about, is trying to find you a second source of heat, a secondary source of heat. And it's easy to put that off in the summer because it's so warm, but we need backups to our backups if we can get them. This government is not going to let up. They're going to continue to punish the people. And the folks, and here's the thing about it, and I'm not trying to throw off on you, but I'm really not. I am really not trying to throw off on anybody, because this is just how I feel. They already want everybody that's been verified to throw everybody that's not been verified under the bus. And when they get done doing all that, then they themselves, the governments, are going to throw all those who have been verified under the bus with all those who haven't been. Now, just because you do this stuff is not going to give you any kind of special treatment with this government. They hate everybody. They just do. They're not going to, once this is over, they're not going to show any favorites. No, they're just using everybody right now against each other. They don't like one better than they do the other. They just can use one better than they can the other right now. And that's all they're doing. Yes, always leave the logs when they trim the trees if you've got a way to burn. Thank you, Clarissa. Abigail said hot water bottles. Yes, that'd be a great thing. Extra blankets. Yeah, Miss P. Kitty, I'm not surprised at any of that stuff. If they did ration cards tomorrow, it wouldn't surprise me. I've learned not to let men surprise me, because men are hard-hearted. Clarissa Parker, you said you have a feeling only those that got verified will be able to get food and medicines, and it'll come down to that. I heard somebody say today, no, it was, when did they send me that? Day before yesterday, a lady said that one of her best friends works for an insurance company, and they had told him he had to a certain date to be verified or he would lose his job selling insurance. So it's rolling out. It's just a matter of time before each company or each corporation or each industry adopts these changes. And this administration has every intention of making every industry it can adopt these changes. So, it'll come down to it. Right now in Canada, about the only place that they can go and shop without proof of anything is the grocery store right now. And that will change when they feel like they can get away with it. As soon as they feel like that's the thing. They have to wait till they feel like that they can get away with it without some kind of major setback. That's what they don't want, is a major setback. And they just kind of wait and bide their time, and they just punch a little bit at a time to see how far they can push people and till they get them there. Yeah. Border, I missed something. What did I miss? Texas border, women having babies at the border. But there's all kinds of stuff going on down there. I agree with you, Zombie. It is a controlled demolition. And hello, Deborah from the Ozarks. It's good to see you. Crocheting and knitting thick blankets like crazy to pile on the bed and making socks and hand mitts. There you go, Kelly. You never know what it's going to do. That's true, Happy Mac. We've had some real odd weather this year here in Kentucky. In and out. Hello, Charles from Illinois. Hello, Maria. Good to see you. Ursi, that's a real good point right there. Ursi said so much food is expired in the stores lately, and rotten potatoes. Sandy and I went through a spell here just a little while back that it seemed like every bag of potatoes we bought, half of them would be rotten in the middle. I don't know what was going on with that. And then it got to where we was having to, which we always try to watch our canned foods and stuff like that and boxed foods when we buy it. We always check the dates. But we went through a spell there with Dollar Tree that they had tons of bad dates. We was finding stuff that had expired in January of this year. And this was just a month or so ago that we was doing that. So yeah, you got to watch those expiration dates. You don't want to buy it expired unless it's an emergency. Because we can eat food out of date. We know that. But you don't want to buy them out of date unless it's a have to case, unless you're just going to be going hungry or something. I don't know what's going on with that. Rotating our old stock, maybe because we're running low. Let's see here where I'm at. And Paulette just sent a super chat. Thank you, Paulette. I appreciate that very much. God bless each and every one of you. Keep on praying and prepping. Praying always first. Amen. I agree with that, Paulette. Praying always first. Kelly's been freezing foods. Let's see. Did I jump up and down? I don't know where I'm at. Here we are. And why me? That's true. Ration cards only work with a stable society. By the time that the politicians get through with this society, it will be very unstable. There will be lots of unstable souls in this society that don't like each other. It'll be pretty bad by the time they get through with it, I think. It'll probably end up where there will be federalized police like in Australia. And what I mean by that is like a martial type law. Yeah. Not something to look forward to, is it? But that's another reason that people need to have their prep ready and keep their lips zipped about how much they've got. Yeah. Let's see where I was at. Lou Ann says she's got pew-pews, knives, and slingshots. I like that, Lou Ann. Abigail, I don't doubt that. You just mentioned that they were saying tonight that a few of the big fertilizer companies have had to close due to all this. Now, I read an article last week, I think it was, that was dealing with some of the fertilizer companies. And I read two different opinions, so I didn't know what to say, so I didn't do a video on it. I read one opinion that said that the fertilizer would probably, they didn't know, but they felt like it would probably make it on through 2022 and 2023. And then the other opinion said that they felt like there was going to be a shortage of fertilizer. And if there is a shortage of fertilizer, then the big crops that they grow, like the big crops of corn and soybean and all that stuff, They've got to have this fertilizer. If they don't get it, their crops won't produce half of what it should. They've got to have the fertilizer. And if there's a shortage on that, it will really seriously affect the produce. And I think that our crops and stuff here in the United States, out in the West, feeds about a third. That we get about a third of our fruits and vegetables and stuff like that right out of all this country out in the West. It's burned up, and it's just sad. Droughts and all that stuff. And then we've got tons of food on those container ships out there off the coast. And two people here said this evening that they've been reported there were 61 container ships. And each container ship hosts, thousands of containers. I don't know exactly how many, but man, that's tons. I mean, that's tons of food out there on those container ships. Made the root crops rot this summer, said Happy Mac. A lot of potato farmers. Boy, it's sad. You should get your dental work done, get your contact or eye glasses ready, and do any other thing that you need a doctor for. Don't wait. I agree, El Chavez. The problem is around here they're still wanting to a mask on your head before you can even walk in the door to talk to any of them. It's pretty sad still, I tell you. A lot of this stuff, there's a lot of stuff, buddy, that people that don't have insurance. You just have to do the best you can. Same thing, I do the best we can. We don't have any insurance at this point, and not looking to get any. I don't think there's even going to be a Medicare or Medicaid by the time we get old enough to get it. And if they were, it would require the being verified to use it, I'm sure. So it wouldn't matter. We wouldn't qualify for it anyway. We'd be, yeah, I'll be walking around like this. Sandy, where's the keyboard? Which one am I supposed to be looking? Oh, goodness. That's funny, but it's not. Someone asking me to show my papers will not be a good thing for the opposite person. Brian Keith Prepper, I understand that, buddy. I understand that 100%. There's days that when this stuff gets on my mind more than I should let it, I feel that way. I'm just glad the Lord is good, and He prepares the way before us and allows us to bypass that stuff. Yeah, that's one of the things I pray, and in the Lord's Prayer, I try to pray it daily that Lord delivers from the evil. Yeah. Man, keep me out of the path of evil so I don't have to react to it. I pray that the Lord go before me, and those that have set snares for me and traps for me, and those who have laid in the way for me, that they get caught in their own snares and in their own traps, and that they be exposed for who they are. And but the Lord does that. He's just wonderful that way. Yeah. He calms me right down. Oh, goodness. Rent's doubled in the last maybe 2 to 3 years, so it's the price of electricity. Income has not increased by. Yeah, that's true, Heidi. That's one of the things that really hurt people. The utilities have gone up, but the pay hasn't. Just here recently now, here in the States, they began to pay more because they can't get help. They're having to compete between companies as to who will pay the most to try to get help to come in and work for them. That's something, I tell you. Hello, Leandra. Good to see you. She said our electric bill has doubled almost, and we do not one thing different. Oh, we're up to 73 likes with 125 in the room. Let's get on that like button. Let's be like that right there. Let's get on that like button. YouTube likes it when you like my videos. And don't forget, we did that video today on the Appalachian poem. So be sure and go over and watch that video after this is over. I think you'll like it. Now, you may look at it and say, well, that wouldn't be good, but it's a good video. It's lighthearted, and it's just something that you can relax to and enjoy. Okay, so go over and enjoy that and share it with your friends, and they'll enjoy it also. And hey, David, good to see you. You normally don't get to catch our lives, but got you some Denny Moore on sale today. That's great to hear that. Rest bars come under the same 2-bottle per day limit. Didn't know that. Restaurants and bars. So that'll really affect them. Mariposa says here it's way more than double the rent and can't afford a rental without roommates anymore. That's sad, buddy. 2 food items because they don't want them to get to help the. Oh, okay, I see, Clarissa. Ursus went up $80 from March. Everyone else around her. 4.3 in LA earthquake. And see, I had got back behind everybody, hadn't I? Yes, get your water situated. You need a way to purify water and store water. El Chavez, that is a mouthful right there. Guys, we just cannot stress that too much, that you've got to have water. I don't know. I don't know how to stress any more than I have in the past. Just got to have water. Mariposa, let's see here. David Williams. Hi, Deborah. It's good to see you. We're spreading out the field. Well, I was getting ready to stop that from jumping, but I didn't. I was getting ready to. I didn't make it. Now, okay. Yeah, that Jessica, I'm glad you mentioned that. And by the way, it's good to see you, Jessica Payton. She said my mom's lived in this house for like 27 years and has never used the fireplace. I'm super tempted to just call a chimney professional to clean it up and check it to make sure it's working to use it. Let me say this. If you can afford to get somebody in there to check that chimney, do it. If you guys, any of y'all live in a house with a chimney, check your chimneys, make sure that they're ventable. Make sure there's no nests down in them and things like that. Clean them out. Make sure you can build a fire in them and that they'll vent and not cause you problems this winter. Because if we have a grid down, you're going to have to burn wood, and you'll have to have your fireplaces and your stoves and things like that. Those of you that have them. So yes, if you have a chimney in your home, get it checked. Absolutely, get it checked. Yes, you're right, David. Firewood does and expires. Put you back some good oak and hickory and stuff like that. Those good hardwoods, you may very well need them. Yes, blankets are cheap at Goodwill. Dog food shortages in England. We've been having cat food shortages here in the States in the can. And why me still waiting for a piece on the wood stove? We've got some other people out there waiting on these stoves. Guys, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Richard Taylor ordered him a rocket stove today. Those are good things to have. I'd recommend anybody have a second source of cooking, second source of heat, second source of everything that you can have. That's true, El Shavies. If you freeze your water, you'll have water as it thaws out. You can also use it to put from your freezer over into your refrigerator to help keep your refrigerator cooler longer. Might save you some stuff as you'll have maybe time to can some stuff and preserve some stuff in a situation like that. Abigail said that Andrew Aldworth, I guess that's John Lewis. I guess that's maybe the premier for somebody, I'm not real sure. In Scotland, said to get your stuff early. Super heavy plastic bottles that saline fluids come in. I saved some. They're great to put very warm water in. Hey, that's great, Deborah. Excellent ideas. For about a year and a half, says Gerald. Firewood for a year and a half. Getting more this winter. Need to stock up on all you can. Fondue pots are good to cook with. Thank you, Kelly. And hello, Lynn from the Gulf Coast of Alabama. Make your own fertilizer for your gardens and make your own compost to fertilize your garden. And Kathy's still looking for a donut. Well, I hope you find you a donut and a cup of coffee soon, Kathy. We don't want an emergency to happen. Oh, goodness, that's too funny. You may have to make you some of your own. I've got recipes here for donuts. If you want me to send you one, just let me know. Oh, goodness. Seaweed in the winter for the garden. We don't have any seaweed around here. Wow, Mariposa, that's great. Worked in a garden center. Yeah, do that, Mariposa. Yeah, send me an email and Jessica can send me an email and we'll get it all together here and sent out. Took 3 months to get into their dentist, said Jean. Hello, Andrew Aldworth. Good to see you. Good evening, Texas. Trying to catch some of the live. Well, we appreciate you stopping in. Folks are getting ready to buy them a rocket stove. And Texas, we were talking about maybe you can give us some insight on how things are in your neck of the woods. We've been talking about price hikes on the food, any kind of produce, and utility bills. We didn't start out talking about utility bills, but we're finding that a lot of people in the room this evening have experienced huge increases in their utility bills this year. Yes, he did, Donna. David prayed that a lot to confound the enemy. Yes, folks, we need manual tools for the kitchen. We need manual hand beaters. We need can openers. You need bottle openers. You need all the manual tools you can get for your kitchens. Uh, I know these plastic spoons and things that people become so accustomed to using them, but I'd highly recommend if you run across stuff cheap that's stainless steel, like the stainless steel spoons, the dipping spoons, the slotted spoons, the stainless steel, anything like that. To get it, those things last for so long, and you don't have to worry about them getting weak and dumping a load of stuff out on you. ECAT. Been on the phone for 2 hours. That would wear my ear out, and I've done that. Boy, ain't no fun. So, Abigail, do you have an opportunity to get seaweed in your place there? You said you walk by the water most days. Hello, Kentucky Prepper. It is a great day to be a child of God and the spirit of discernment to prepare. Amen. I agree with you. Big shortages with Cali gas in England this year. Uh, I'm going to be doing that this year, Luann. Now, my father-in-law and mother-in-law own cattle, and they run the cattle around us here. And that's one of the things we was talking about when we started talking about doing container gardening. We're going to just get our lawnmower and our pull behind trailer and run around and fill up the trailer and make our own fertilizer uh, to fertilize our uh, container gardens with, and we'll be mixing some of that in with the soil as well. So hopefully we'll have a good yield this coming year. We're sure hoping to. Texas Janice Mama made biscuits made donuts with biscuit dough. This thing needs to be hooked again. The farmer uses a chemical called Grazon on the grass. Cow manure will stop anything from growing in your garden. I don't think Danny uses anything like that on his. I'll ask him, but I don't think he does. Andrew said they just said gas and electric is going to go up in England this year because of the shortage. Mm-mm-mm. Batteries, yeah, we need batteries put back. Abigail, okay, 121% rise. That's crazy stuff. I got way back behind that. Let's see, Texas. I'd ask her about that. Our electric is not up, but propane is crazy high. The food we eat, most of it is not up too much, except meat. But I notice convenient food is up a lot. Mm. Can opener broke. Took 3 weeks to find one. Wow, that's a long time to find a can opener. I went for the longest of time trying to find a pastry cutter because that's what I like to use to cut my butter into my biscuits with. And I like to have never found one. And then when I found one, we found two or three. It's 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 odd how that stuff works like that, isn't it? It really is. Meat and grain grinders, guys. Man, we appreciate you. I want you to know that y'all have been such a blessing to Sandy and I. But don't forget that that this food thing is not going to change. I don't foresee it changing. Many of the big grocery stores like Kroger and the big box stores like Walmart, their CEOs have already made statements this year that they think they're going to continue to see shortages in the coming year, and that specific items or certain brands of items are going to be really hard to come by. So keep that in mind. If there's stuff that you need, I would highly suggest that you try to put back everything you can. If you're on some kind of prescription medicine, I'd recommend that you have your doctor write your prescriptions out as far as you can, or as far as he will, and put that stuff back, because we don't know. We just don't know. I know a lot of people's tried to predict a lot of this stuff, but we just can't. I've come to the point that I'm just kind of like, well, if it happens tomorrow, it happens. If it don't, it don't, because I've given up trying to figure it out. I told somebody today that trying to figure out when all this stuff is going to come crashing in, it's kind of like a man walking on a frozen lake in the spring when it's starting to thaw. You hear it popping and cracking, but you don't know, the exact time it's going to give way under you. All you can do is just pray it holds up till you get across. And that's kind of the way this economy and all this stuff is right now. It's just kind of like a thawing lake with people running across it trying to get to the other side. We don't know how long it's going to hold up. We just have no way of knowing. But anyway, thank you all. We appreciate you coming out tonight. We're going to wrap this up and say, again, thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. And we pray that the Lord bless and keep you. I pray that the Lord watch over you and keep you safe from harm. May His grace be bountiful to you in all that you do. May the Lord bless all you put your hands to, that you may prosper and grow. And don't forget to give Him praise for all things that you achieve and that you have, because without Him, we're truly nothing. It's as the Apostle Paul said, I can do nothing of myself, but I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So remember that all that we have and all that we are, it is the blessing of God through Christ Jesus. And with that being said, we'll see you all in the next video. Good night, everybody. We love you guys.